You're listening to Grim 86 Freedom First Podcast.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 60 of the Grim 86 Freedom First Podcast. Today we're going to have less lethal weapons and armor.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about like the cosplay lifestyle and all the dressing up and where that all came from.
And possibly some free Fritos.
But are they free, though?
It depends. Stay tuned and find out.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Grim 86 Freedom First Podcast.
Yeah.
Episode number 60. I'm feeling
60.
like this is going to be epic. I'm Chris.
My nipples are hard, too. I'm Johnny Doe.
My name's Jamie. I'm already uncomfortable.
Yeah, all right. right out of the gate.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good
Oh,
one.
yeah, this is going to be a great episode.
And we got a lot of cool stuff we're talking about today.
Oh, yeah, we got some lethal weapons. We got some cosplay.
Less than lethal.
Less than lethal. Oh, less than
Lethal
lethal
Weapons is a cool movie
I've got some-
series, though.
I've got some lethal weapons I'll be talking about.
There you
That's in a
go.
separate
Oh, that's
section.
right.
Different segment.
So we got less than lethal weapons. We got some cosplay for you guys. We got free Fritos, possibly.
Possibly.
And a goat breaks into an office.
There's going to be some goat action, some livestock issues. I feel like
Yeah.
goats are becoming a theme on the show.
I think
It wasn't
yeah.
really planned that way.
It wasn't.
Kind
They
of
just kind of showed up.
The goat sort of just found its way into our show.
infiltrating, bro.
Yeah. They
yeah.
had, I don't know.
I think it's
yeah.
always been there, like in the background. We just
Well,
never.
The goat?
Well, since
Yeah,
he did the
the
screaming goat thing.
Yeah, the screaming
like,
goat.
That's
what
where
I'm
it's kinda
talking about.
started, right?
Yeah.
So it's Jamie's fault.
So it was inevitable that the
Right.
goat was gonna have some kind of
Natural
yeah.
evolution.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's what we do.
it's my deep love for goatsy that just got us there, you know?
Right.
It's crazy.
I mean, on the live stream, you're talking about livestock. So
Who
why
doesn't
stop
like
there,
milking
right?
goats? That's what I want to know.
Right.
Do you guys know what the goatsy is?
No,
No.
what's a goatsy?
Oh, well.
Do tell.
It's not. It's,
Hashtag look it up.
oh no, I'll pull it up, but we
Okay.
can't put it on the show.
Well, let us watch it. We'll react
Yeah,
to
no,
it.
I will. It's not. It is not a. It is not a.
Family friendly?
No, it's not a. It's not a video. It's a picture.
Oh, a picture.
Yeah, this is. I fucking hate you guys right now.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, dude, are you serious? That's what it is?
Yeah. It's.
So imagine, if you will,
Opening a large vortex into
I
the
think
past.
this might be it. This.
This
Okay, that's
takes
the
you-
close up.
all right,
You
well,
said-
I think we get the
into
point.
yeah, you
the
get the point.
Twilight
Hashtag look it up.
Zone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Mario.
it's real bad.
You ever see there's one with
Oh.
the
Johnson's.
black hole, the actual black hole.
Oh, they
like-
put it
I
inside.
like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
I did not know that.
It is a gaping being
Johnson.
held open by hands. So
Gaped.
like they're in there. It's
Yeah.
it's
I feel like Pornhub.
I
You
feel
can
like
find it.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Jesus.
So what else is going on, guys? What do we got? What do we got, Jamie?
That was
well, first and foremost, you guys, if you're watching this video, please leave us a like, thumbs it up, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and then make sure you share every single episode you see come out of our
Yeah,
channel. Because
absolutely.
It helps us.
Yeah. I agree with that.
hey, I'm not telling you guys what to do, but fucking share this shit, man.
There you go. What do you
There
say?
it is. So now that's out of the way. What do we got? We got some sort of a gang problem here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's been ongoing gang violence.
I feel like they might have a cause, though. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
they might be
It
hangry.
might be a just cause.
They might be hangry, is what
Maybe.
possibly.
You
hangry,
never
yeah.
know, bro.
Society says we should only have tacos with the gang on Tuesday.
It sounds
But
epic.
Taco Bell doesn't play by the rules.
Damn,
That's
bro.
right, freedom, bitch.
Fucking street.
Fuck your rules.
With Taco Bell party packs, gangs are having tacos any day of the week, even Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Even Sunday,
in
that's
your
rebel
face.
without a cause. Or with the cause.
In your face,
Crunchy.
crunchy tacos.
Or straight up
Oh.
I
logos.
feel like there's a lot of eye
You know they're
makeup.
crazy because they got all that shit on their roof.
It's time
Oh,
to
the
come
loco.
together and
Oh
fight.
shit!
Uh-oh. It's going
for
down, bro.
Tacos any night.
Oh, shit. Dance battle, bro. They're dance fighting, bro.
Dude, that dude had a
With
mild
tacos.
sauce earring. Did you see that?
With goggles.
Kick
Dance battle.
Look at this guy.
Yeah. Dance battle.
they dance fighting?
That's right, buddy.
Rebelling
What's it to you, square? Fucking square.
He's like, I'm so fucking high right now. I don't know what I'm watching.
See, these guys get it. They're
Yeah.
battling for tacos every
Yeah.
day.
They got their own little ANCAP societies going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was gang
That
fights.
was, dude. And who knew that was even a problem?
They were hangry.
I just
and just looking for the cure. The cure is tacos from fucking Taco Bell.
Every night.
I feel okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna extend an olive branch to Taco Bell here. I'm just gonna say thank you.
Yeah.
You know? Because you bring joy to me
Mm-hmm.
daily,
Yes.
and then also
Supply content for your podcast.
that too. You also haven't flagged any of our videos yet.
Right.
We're really happy.
Well, they're
about
like
that.
secret
So-
fans, I think, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, how can we like block them
Yeah.
for?
I know
Promoting for free.
promoting our business. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, shit. You know.
Yeah, don't fuck up Taco Bell.
Yeah. Taco
We should
Bell.
do a
Thank
top.
you.
Okay,
Thank you, Taco
we
Bell.
should do a taxation of theft pumpkin or 3 pumpkins doing that this year.
and
And
Taco
we should make a
Bell.
Taco Bell
Logo.
pumpkin logo.
Capitalist, bro. It's capitalism.
Yeah.
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I like
Taco
it.
Bell is the least regulated fast food chain
That
in the world.
That is not true. Hashtag fake news. Oh, false.
So whenever I say anything that's questionable, you will hear that statement.
That is not true.
Yeah. He fact checks his own stuff in his
Yeah.
own mind. So
Yep.
yeah, I agree.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's what
And-
the fake news does,
Yeah.
right?
Shout out to Batman, the shirt you're wearing today. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hey man, who doesn't like the Riddler? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan.
All right.
Big fan of the Riddler.
Well, we got some goat stuff here.
We do.
All right.
We have a couple of goat.
Is it
related
goat
things.
time?
Yeah,
It's
it's
time for
time,
goats.
dude.
Time for goats.
Homeowner came home and found their glass sliding door broken in their back, and they thought someone broke in. They started walking around and went into the bathroom, and they found this goat asleep in their bathroom, bro.
Oh, and then
Like
chilling.
no property right respect whatsoever.
and then
Just-
he just pops up
Yeah.
and takes a picture like he owns the fucking joint.
yeah.
He's all selfie bitch.
I don't think
That's right.
Oh, there isn't. Okay, but that was the gist of this one. It's just like, can you imagine, Jamie? You're coming home. You had a long day work. You fucking come home. Someone broke into your shit. You're freaking out. You maybe get your fucking means of self-defense and start cruising through the house trying to figure out where and what is going on in your house, who stole what, and then there's a fucking goat sleeping in your bathroom.
It would be the most. It would be a giant relief for one.
Well,
like,
yeah.
because I would be happy that that's all it was a goat.
Right.
You know,
And nothing's gone. Maybe
Yeah.
he ate
Yeah.
some of your food
I
or
agree with
something.
you. I
Part of
first
my
off,
couch.
I would be happy that it wasn't an intruder, and second, I would definitely know what I would be having for dinner that night.
Oh,
Taco Bell.
Some goat tacos. Yeah. Yeah. They're like little fucking crazy, chaotic agents of chaos. They're just like breaking in and stuff.
They just have
And
their
we
own-
have video of.
They're
of-
just mayhemic.
Yeah. Yes.
They're mayhem.
Nice.
Yes.
They're mayhemmy.
That's amazing.
So Jamie has his other video that goes right along with this one. So this is
Yeah.
video. This is the video that
Yeah.
we have. But this is an office building,
Yes.
and yeah.
Caught on tape.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, this guy knew what he was doing.
This guy was targeting for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What?
blow this all
He
away.
was
Let's
not
see.
happy with this place.
Let's see what we got here.
This fucking goat.
Uh-oh.
So the security cam footage.
So he's
has got
already
this goat in
testing the
door,
window.
Yeah.
He's testing the
Yeah.
glass.
looking for
Oh.
vulnerabilities. Look at this.
Dude, now he has.
Like,
oh,
what?
see, he knocked out the glass.
His other
and
goats
my
take
God.
off. His
Yeah.
posse, his lookouts just take
yeah,
off.
there's like 12 goats in the background.
and then look, he's
watching.
not done.
Like he gives no fucks right here. Like, I want to do this one, but I'm
Dude, I'm wondering if he's fighting his reflection.
Maybe.
like, give it to me. Take it.
Like,
Dude, he's a fucking
Oh.
asshole, dude.
right? And then watch. Here we go.
You ain't shit. Come on. He takes it to this glass door right there.
Boom.
Boom.
Both of them? Oh my
Shards.
God.
And then just like
everywhere.
zero fucks. He's like, okay, job done.
Yeah.
Just takes off now.
He's all like,
like,
vandalized.
Go fuck
What
yourself.
more do I have to do?
Like that's it.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
That's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
fucking goats, man.
Yeah.
They're
Definitely.
terrorists,
yeah.
dude. They're a threat.
Yeah. No respect for private property whatsoever.
But they're so cool at the same time.
And then
you ever see them like jump off each other and they like
Oh,
do
yeah, like-
flips
Yeah.
and knock each other over, and
especially
shit?
the little ones, the
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
the baby ones.
They're
Yeah,
so funny, dude.
they are.
I would
They're
love
pretty
to have a little goat that just stayed that big forever.
Right,
That'd be
pygmy goat.
awesome.
Yeah.
Just bouncing off everything, riding on the back of my dog, Rucker.
As long as that energy can be slowed down sometimes. I couldn't do that all the time. But I mean, like, sometimes
Yeah.
it'd be hilarious.
Well, then you're eating goat. So.
Yeah.
They're,
that could
they're
be
very
that too.
delicious.
Tender little bastard. You wouldn't listen.
Yeah, sure.
You know, that's a meal in Hispanic culture.
I was gonna say in lots of countries.
Yeah, lots of countries.
Yeah.
But we call it birria. Little
Nice.
Spanish lesson for you guys.
After Billy Goat.
Yeah.
Now sheep.
Yeah, they're kin to the goats. We got some sheep. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know how.
I feel like it sounded real.
on the species scale.
Sounded
I don't know where
real.
classification where they fall actually, but I mean, they have similar attributes like budding people, right?
Yep.
And this is fisherman versus sheep. Yeah. Like nothing. I'm just gonna watch you fish. Yeah, I'm just gonna back up while you
We
cast.
all know what's happening here.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
It's inevitable.
I'm not doing anything. Watch out!
Booyaka.
Right in the water.
Can you imagine, dude? I'd be pissed.
Dude, that guy knew that that sheep knew what he was doing.
Get away.
You go after him
There he
again?
runs, dude.
Oh man.
he didn't even get his fucking reel out of the goddamn.
Using the tree.
So sheep 1, fisherman 0.
Shout out to the video title. on
I
that. That's
liked
what it was
it.
titled.
Yeah, it was
No,
pretty
that was
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, those sheep are assholes. Like, you ever watch, like, even little kids are at a petting zoo or whatever, and they just fucking...
I've seen both sheep and goats do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So they
They're
must
both
be.
cut from
They're
the
both
same cloth.
assholes. I mean, they're the same like
My earliest memory.
genre.
My earliest memory is when I was 3, and I was in a stroller at Happy Hollow Zoo, the petting zoo, and it was a goat eating.
Dude, I have that
my
same
seatbelt.
fucking memory, dude.
You know, like when you're a little kid, you had a little seatbelt thing,
Yeah.
and it was like eating that, and I was like freaking out. Because you're in a stroller, so you're even lower, and they're
Yeah,
bigger.
they look massive.
Yeah.
I remember
So that
being
was
in
my
a
first
stroller
memory.
and holding a cone full of
The pellets?
fucking
The feed?
pellets. Yeah, and the goat like ripping it out of my hands.
Yeah, so word
Yeah.
up to all the parents that think that's all fucking whatever. Me and Chris both have first traumatic experiences,
Yeah.
memories.
I didn't
Because
that,
of fucking petting zoos, you
your
crazy fucking
story
parents.
triggered me.
Right, your memory.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It was
dude.
like suppressed all these years.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, some
Some
therapy.
serious
Yeah.
therapy is.
We're gonna
about to
go
happen.
eat some goat and sheep tonight. Now,
Fuck. That's why I like eating goats.
Yeah.
and sheep.
Revenge.
payback's a bitch.
Yeah.
Both got those weird eyes with
Yeah.
the weird pupil.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, so the last 2 weeks we did. The first week we did like blunt weapons and bladed weapons. Like this is kind of like the third part of our weapons little series that we wanted to do.
Right.
And then last week was the firearms and the regulations around them. So this week we wanted to do less lethal
Like stuff that you could own. That's
or
not-
should
should own.
things that aren't going to be.
to protect yourself. Like if you're one of those people who's not like a big gun guy or gun girl,
Mhm.
you don't want, you're not looking to kill somebody, but you want to defend yourself. Like what are some of the options that are available to you?
Yep.
Well, we got a list for you guys.
Mhm.
Awesome. I
So-
like it. I like the
Yeah.
less. I love less lethal stuff, dude. Don't get
I
me
like
wrong.
all of it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like every
absolutely.
single one of these things that last week and the week before too. So
Right.
it's just fun. Weapons are fun. All right. So the first thing is that we got pepper spray because that's like what I get accused of talking about a lot. So I thought like that's the first one that we should probably be talking about. So
Right.
pepper spray, and so when we looked up these things, and what they generally said, like in across the board, the federal government wise, is there wasn't really that much restriction.
Not on pepper spray.
Yeah. So the only thing where they came in, like when you look it up on Google, the first thing that was funny is said that there was no regulations or anything like that on pepper spray across the board, generally speaking, I would assume, because I'm sure states, counties, and things probably have some. But then it's all but California regulates the size.
Right.
So anything above 2.5 ounce is like no go in California.
Right.
You can buy the bear spray thing, the big guy. Like that's the only one you can buy that's
But
big.
you can't carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
carry
wouldn't
it.
be able. It's
But you can
illegal
carry
to
this is
carry.
a 1 point, so you can see
Right.
kind of scale. like that's the 1.5.
Yeah. So this is a less lethal option than a gun or a firearm, personal protection wise. I mean, I've been pepper sprayed before, and I know these things
Not
are
fun.
I know these things are effective at any 30 feet was the range.
That one's probably more like a 20-foot range.
Yeah.
I would go with maybe 25 tops.
So I
But
mean,
the bigger ones
you
you
would
can-
point it and
yeah.
just
Spray.
the area and create a cloud or whatever, and you would choke somebody up real quick, or disable their ability to see, or even like they'll start choking. I mean, like I got pepper sprayed and I was just choking on my own spit.
Yeah, your nose,
so,
your eyes, everything just starts leaking.
Right.
It's uncontrollable. They also had, when we were looking, me and Chris were doing some of the research on this, we came across, and Jamie might know about this, I'm pretty sure he does. They have the canisters, they're called, what are they called? Pepper spray grenades. And they're basically like, you pull the top off, you pop it, and then it just starts shooting off like an aerosol, like a bug bomb kind of thing you would throw in your house. And you toss it, and then it just sprays for X amount of, like, it's like a minute maybe.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And it'll clear out everything.
Yeah,
so I don't know if you came across that. I never have until we were doing research.
It creates a cloud. I mean, it's pretty effective.
I have
man.
to apologize that I did not find out about the legality because that was right at the end of our research.
Right.
Like that part I don't know, but they were like, you could get them in 2 different sizes that we were finding. That Fox brand pepper spray I had made them as well. But it was really cool. It's like a little hairspray bottle thing that just is spraying.
And really, the only restrictions on it was like California, you have to be at least 19 years old.
Right.
And that was kind of weird too.
Yeah.
Like 18, 19 years old. There must have been some kind of like
Weird law.
compromise somewhere.
Maybe, yeah.
So the rule is
The first one, Jamie.
This one here?
Yeah.
You have to be at least 19 years old, and you can't carry a container bigger than 2.5 ounces.
Right.
And it was like that in California and Maryland.
Yeah.
Maryland happens to be
Or Michigan.
Bernie Sanders. Bernie
Was it?
Sanders
No.
territory.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Something I never even heard of that shit before.
Right.
So
I mean, I
pepper spray grenade,
carry a pepper spray with
They
me.
have
like,
them on Amazon. We
Yeah.
looked them up. Oh, Jamie's already looking them up. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they're very effective.
$27.73.
Yeah, they don't
on
cost very
Amazon.
much. And
3 ounce.
Yeah.
So that'd be something cool. Like if you had an area you needed to clear out and you didn't want to stay, you just click, pop, throw it in, and then like kind of like you would do with a smoke canister.
The grenade, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or a flashbang.
Yeah, or a flashbang.
Right.
But they ain't gonna make no noise. But you throw it in, you close the door or whatever, and they keep moving away. So that'd be kind of it's a cool little tool that I didn't know anything about that. But it's like a concept of like the bug bombs you throw in your house, right?
Dude,
Right.
that's so
Pretty
fucking
cool,
tight,
huh?
dude. Yeah, no, I have to get one for my kid.
Right?
man.
I'm like
Fuck.
totally stoked about it. Okay, so then on that same level, Jamie has worked with the paint gun industry, and so I wanted him to talk a little bit about the paint gun pepper shots and what he knew about it. I knew that was kind of his thing. That was my only note for him to like kind of talk about because he has a lot of experience with that.
Do we have a graphic for that?
No.
For a pepper shot, no. I'm not going to bring it up just because I don't work for that company
No,
anymore.
yeah, that's why I didn't say.
They're a competitor to Pepper Ball. Pepper Ball is the one that is typically used by most government agencies. Pepper Shot is a alternative by a different manufacturer. Effectively, the same thing, I think. I don't know what the legality.
Well, I
is
use
of
it
that,
in the
but
term of like tasers. You're just calling it taser,
It's a
even though
taser.
it's a brand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Fair enough.
There's not a whole lot of regulation on it.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, yeah,
there
there
is, especially in California.
Yeah, there is. You can't have it.
You can't have it in California because the delivery method is not technically legal because the paint marker.
I'm sorry.
A paint marker is powered by either HPA, so just compressed air, or CO2. Because those are compressed gases that project they propel rather a projectile. It's illegal. The reason you can get away with aerosol-based delivery methods like that is because it doesn't quite atomize like a powder does. It atomizes like a liquid, so it's a little bit less or a little bit more viscous, a little more heavy, and also because you can't achieve the velocities through aerosol that you can with HPA or CO2 because the gas doesn't it just doesn't get the pressure doesn't get that high for that
Doesn't
gas.
produce enough energy.
Like HPA is a higher pressure gas than CO2. CO2 usually runs about 800 or 900 psi, and then your HPA tanks go up to like 4,500 psi. and they're just more adjustable, more consistent. But anyway, long story short, yeah, it's a fucking plastic 68 caliber paintball round, and it shoots and it breaks in 2 halves and a cloud of OC powder, oleoresin capsaicin. It's the active ingredient in like a chili pepper. It's hot. Depending on the grade that you buy, there are varying levels of intensity. They have a regular one. They have a 5X. They have a 10X.
But do you give it away? Do you give it away? Do you give it away now?
No.
Or do you use it under the bridge?
I don't know. I don't know.
Under the bridge downtown.
What? That wasn't the chili peppers.
That's all right. I have seen like what they can do. I haven't been shot with one, but I have been through like an atomized cloud of it, and everything you said.
That sounds horrible.
We had a problem where we weren't sure if they were working, and it's kind of like you can't really just be like, "Hey, employee, let me shoot you in the face with this." So like, I just fucking dabbed it in my finger and I put it on the inside of my nostril,
which is horrible idea.
It was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, I found out that it worked well still, so yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Shelf life is better than I expected.
That's pretty cool. So if there wasn't more on the pepper spray part of it, if you could get into, since we're on the paint gun part of it, if you could talk about like any of the projectiles, like the rubber or the plastic rounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen the glass rounds?
I've seen glass breaker rounds. They're 68 caliber aluminum bearings.
Wow.
And those we absolutely can't sell to civilians. Those were good for firefighters when they had to get rid of windows in buildings or whatever. But mostly, police for getting into vehicles or getting into a building through glass, whatever.
Entry team stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works good on tempered glass.
So what do you know about the plastic rounds or the
rubber?
Rubber. Those are illegal for citizens to own, or depends on state by state?
So as of right now, you can technically own them because you have a paint gun it's meant for a 68 caliber projectile. You can buy a 68 caliber projectile because it's rubber and the hard one is made of nylon. Those are not regulated materials. But oleoresin capsaicin with a non-aerosol delivery, that is regulated. So I can't sell we can't sell the pepper spray, the pepper shot
which is weird, right? Like, why would...
It's dumb. It's all control.
It's all statism.
Technicalities, right? So, you can buy the rubber, you can buy the nylon. The thing is that most of the time, they're just priced really high.
Right.
To
discourage.
Yeah, to discourage regular Joe from buying it and being an asshole with it. So to give you an idea, like the 68 caliber rubber round, those are really good for self-defense because it's a very heavy round and you don't need to fire it at a very high velocity for it to be effective. Those were the rounds they were using for the force on force training for urban shield
enforcement stuff. Yeah,
up in Oakland. And they were using our markers at the time, and we were using the 68 cal rubber rounds because they're shooting them at other people in like paintball gear,
role play for terrorists or whatever.
Exactly. So like they're actually hitting people with them, so they can't be cranked up too high. But we had to actually dial back our markers because they started leaving dents on the inside of the train walls. So it's like just to see rubber rounds, like even if at a high enough velocity, because the cool thing about a solid projectile through a paintball gun is the velocity is just how much air you want to waste with each shot, because a paintball after a certain velocity will explode and cause repeat breakages and things like that if you don't clean it and maintain it. But a rubber ball is just going to fucking go out at whatever speed you send it. The thing about the rubber is that if it's out of spec even a little bit, it starts to get a spin and they just veer off left or right or up or down. You kind of never know where it's going to go if the velocity is too high. Mm-hmm. The nylon ones, though, holy shit. Like those things, they're so like... They're so rigid. They're so hard. Like, if I were to drop one onto concrete, it would damn near bounce up to almost exactly the same height. Like, they're so, like, I don't know how to explain.
Balanced or whatever, right? Like,
well, there's just the hardness.
The mass
like,
of them.
I've broken the rounds before, and they don't smash or chip or whatever. They explode. Like, they completely crack, and all these pieces just go everywhere. They're so hard.
Fragmentation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's
so like
cool.
one of those things for sure at like 400 feet per second will absolutely kill you.
You're going to have a bad day.
Dead. If you hit anybody in the fucking
really?
head with one of those,
It'll kill you, huh?
Yeah, dude. If you hit him in a soft cavity, eye, the temple or something, that's lights out. Another one that they have too that some people use for less lethal, which I don't recommend because these are a little more brutal even. They're made of a hard plastic, not quite as hard as the nylon. It's almost like it's an injection molded thing, but this is a shaped projectile, and a shaped projectile has it's 68 caliber, but it's not a circle. It looks like a little shuttlecock, and it only fits into a magazine-fed paintball marker because they always have to be facing the same direction.
Right.
You can't just dump them all into a hopper.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can use something like that, and it is I know a guy who is a felon, and he has one because he can own that because these are plastic things that are not regulated. This is a paint gun. He can have that.
And let's point out too, like we did say, this is less lethal. So it's
Exactly.
still even pepper spray could kill someone.
Sure.
So I mean,
Someone's
there's
allergic.
there could be some kind of weird thing. It fucks up the respiratory system. So like, these are still like can be up to lethal. They're just less likely to be lethal.
Right.
Yeah.
Generically speaking.
And I think we got this dude's his gun shooting like as close to 400 feet per second with these shaped rounds we can. Now these things, they're the fins on them are rifled, so you couple that with a rifled paintball barrel. Fuck, dude, these things are insane. The first time I ever got to fire a couple of them, like I was like, okay, paintball. I'm used to the regular arc of a paintball. I fired my first round, and it I overshot the target so far. It was embarrassing.
It was just true.
Oh my god! I was like, wow! Like I didn't think it was going to be that big of a difference, but that market for those projectiles, they're making them actually with paint in them now, and they're using it in competitive like magazine-fed paintball type scenarios.
So if somebody were gonna go to the store and pick up something like that for home protection, like what is the price range you think they would be spending to?
So in my opinion, the only pistol, if you wanted to buy a less lethal pistol, the only one to spend any money on is by Tipman, and it's called the TPX. It looks like a space gun. It doesn't look like a real pistol, but it does feed a magazine in from the handle. It has the one cool thing I like about it is this is actually a good home defense gun because of two things. The magazine it has no way to carry gas. The magazine only holds the projectiles. So you put that in the gun, those are safe. They're under a little bit of spring tension, so if they were in there for 6 months, maybe a little bit of deformation or whatever. But cool thing is you can unscrew the CO2 cap. It takes a disposable 12-gram CO2. You put that in there. You screw the cap back on. It doesn't actually puncture that tank until you pull the trigger one time.
Oh, nice.
So you can have
this
thing,
really cool.
Dude,
good
that
to
is
go.
cool, man.
It's good to go. It's not gassed up, so you're not under pressure. You're not losing any of your seals, whatever. You hear a bump in the night, click, click, gassed up, and then next one is going to fire a round out of that. And you can actually get a small...
Oh, not pull the trigger, but rack it.
No. It doesn't have a bolt. So
okay.
you put it in, and it's like ready to go. Like it's got an automatic sear. So you pull the trigger, it pushes a needle through the CO2 cartridge, and it gasses up the marker and cocks the hammer back.
Gotcha.
Damn,
boom,
that's
boom,
cool,
boom, boom.
man.
So there's no external hammer. You don't have to worry about
I was just
that
trying
shit.
to picture what you're...
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll pull it up so you guys can see it. But that's the best one that you can get, in my opinion, because that is the most reliable marker that's out on the market that is a pistol. Other companies make them in like 50 caliber and 43 caliber, so they can actually be smaller and be replicas of real guns. Those are awesome for force-on-force training, only if you have an armorer. Do not buy one of those if you plan to maintain it yourself. I straight up turn down people from buying those. I'm like, I'm just going to get them all back as RMAs. Like, I know that. It's what happens every time we sell these pieces of shit. Don't buy the 43 cal stuff. It's bad.
I kind of would rather it look like a space age gun anyway, so it kind of looks a little different.
Well,
so you kind of know
I'm just saying, bro.
It's not a real gun.
You point.
I mean,
this
you don't
at somebody,
never know, but yeah.
You point this at somebody, and
Yeah,
it's like
we saw that.
68
before.
fucking caliber. It's fucking massive. You'd be like, Jesus.
That would fucking hurt, dude. Honestly.
So
I'm just gonna pull
Yeah.
so
that
you can
up.
see what it looks like.
I think that would deter somebody from
Oh yeah,
attacking
you see that pointed at you?
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, this is it. I
yeah.
mean, it doesn't look like a real gun, but it's got a rail, so you can put a light, a laser on there if you want to. It doesn't have an external hammer or a bolt. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. You just mag in, pull the trigger.
Yeah. Cool. I like it.
But that's the best one, in my opinion, that you can get because that's the only one that just works.
Yeah, you just put your tack light on there, you're good to go, man.
Yeah.
That's way cool.
But that's the best one.
And
I mean,
what does it run? Like
I think it's
price-wise?
$300.
$300.
I think they go for about $299, something like that. Last time I checked.
That's reasonable for self-defense.
It's expensive in the world of entry-level paintball guns, but I mean, if you're looking for
But
a
if
gun
this is
alternative,
yeah.
half the price of a fucking Glock. I mean, whatever.
Non-lethal alternative, man.
Yeah.
Because I know there's freedom fighters out there who value their property, but maybe don't like having a firearm.
Yeah,
in
they
their,
could be
their
scared
home.
of it too.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you want to use, and they're not big on the idea of killing somebody, you know. So
nobody should be unless you're a sociopath.
No, of course, but I mean, they don't want like the final option to be a gun.
Well, they have to keep in mind that even using these options can still lead to that. So you got to keep in mind that.
Well, yeah, of course. There's always
just they'll feel less.
There's
guilty.
always some percentage that something could go,
not the way you
wrong.
saw it.
Yeah.
So.
And then you're always gonna have guys like me that say, "Well, what happens when he gets back up from all that?"
Right. Well, these options are better options to use and get away.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing. That's
absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, to get you out of the situation at least.
So pepper shot or pepper spray balls.
Yeah, I just call pepper spray balls.
Okay, I just always called it that. So they are illegal to own unless you're law enforcement
or military
yeah. Status.
Yep.
But you can get the rubber rounds and the plastic variants.
Yeah. The only thing really deterring you to buy them is how much
price.
They are. Yeah. So the nylon ones, because we didn't really want to sell those to regular, Joe Blow, because the chances are that if they were inexpensive, people would find out about them and use them, maliciously. So, like a bag of 500 of these rounds, usually goes for about 500 paintballs goes for about $22. 500 of these nylon rounds goes for about $300. So
wow,
I mean, and that's
a big
shop
jump.
around.
Yeah,
shop around.
So and then the rubber ones, obviously less expensive than that, but they're still pretty expensive compared to just paint. Anytime like
now, one other point too is just like why is the government regulating the pepper shot or pepper spray balls? Like I don't understand. Like there should be. I mean, if you could shoot someone with a harder projectile, which is arguably way more dangerous,
right?
Like.
Why wouldn't you just use those?
Yeah, and you can get pepper spray. So it's like, what? I don't get it. But whatever. Statism, bro.
Yeah.
Control.
It's just control.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, did you have anything else, Jamie? I don't want to cut you off.
The last little story that I had about less lethal is that when we were at that company that I work for, we were at SHOT Show or something like that. Or it might have even been at the Urban Shield. And we were talking with the SWAT team from Mexico. They were in there, the Federale soldiers and whatnot. They have a SWAT team, like a special entry team. And the guy that was there the first night before I took over his shift the next day, he was the military law enforcement account manager. So he's like, oh, dude, I got to see if these guys want to buy some of the less lethal stuff. And then in true fashion of the enemy that they deal with down there, they're like, Those guys will
bullshit.
Those guys will kill us if we show up with that. Like, we need to have bullets. And he's like, I felt really dumb after he told me that. Like, we deal with
you didn't think of it that
bro.
way. Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right,
In
so
the drug war.
the next thing, which will dovetail off of what you're talking about, Jamie, is the different kinds of rounds you can get for your shotgun. So you can get rubber rounds. You can get beanbag rounds, and the way that they define those, at this current point, there is no legality that we know of that we could find. Now, certain states maybe, I don't know, but I didn't see anything about it. But basically, it makes sense because that there is no law on it, because in order to use one of those kind of rounds, you still have to meet the same requirements to use deadly force for self-defense.
Right.
So it's a clear and present danger to you and you can't get away or whatever, then you're able to engage with them. So, but those are options. Like if you didn't want to shoot someone but you had a shotgun,
and there's all kinds of different types, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a beanbag, there's the pepper.
Rubber.
Rubber.
I don't know if the pepper was legal, though. That one I didn't get to do. And they also even have variations where there's mini tasers inside as well.
Yeah. There was quite a few of them that were pretty cool. And then they came in different packs. Like you could look
Variety
online, and there's different varieties in there. You get 3 shots of each.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, they did have 4 or 5 different styles of ammo that you could buy. Just type in for less lethal shotgun rounds, and you'll find a bunch of them. But once again, to use those, it's still gonna be the same requirement as deadly force.
Right.
They're gonna go through all the steps of was this self-defense?
And arguably, it's gonna be the same thing for pepper spray or anything else. You still have to say, oh, there was a reason. You didn't just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought it'd be funny.
It would be.
Your life is in danger. No.
An old one too that I used to hear a lot was rock salt out of a shotgun. I've heard of something called the baton, but I think that's just the newest thing, or one of the older terms they use for rubber when they would fire rubber out of it. They called it rubber baton, but
Oh,
now
okay.
it's a rubber bullet
Now
or
it's-
whatever.
yeah, they've changed the term.
Yeah.
Beanbag for sure. I heard of that. They actually have it's a bag that has a little tail that comes off the back of it, so it flies straight.
So then they also have the apparently you can get the flare launchers, but you have to have a permit for them. But there is a way to do that, and you can get beanbag rounds for the 40 mil, and then I think it's a 32 mils, a smaller one.
The civilian or 37, I think is.
Or something like that. Yeah, I can't.
Close.
Yeah. So it's something like that, but you can get rounds for those as well. But you got to get a special permit to get them.
Yeah.
Just wanted to mention
Yeah.
that one. As far as tasers go, it sounded like pretty much across the board they were legal to carry different kinds of styles of stun gun, taser type weapons. However, in California and some states, you have to either be to carry it like on the a job or whatever. You have to be law enforcement or whatever. I don't see why to like protect
Right.
yourself that you
It's
have to have.
non-lethal.
Yeah, like if you were a security person, you have to have the training and certificate to do that. But if you're a civilian, you could carry it.
Weird.
Like more
Yeah.
weird statism thing.
Yeah,
so,
just control. That's more
so,
control.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, I could see if the company wanted to do that because of legal, bonding, legal
Liability
kind
or
of
something.
liability, kind of that kind of stuff. I get
Yeah.
that. But just to tell you can't use it outright unless you have a license for it. Once again, selling your right to defend yourself back to you.
Right.
So yeah, but as far as this, they went. You had to be 19 years and older for the what's it called? The
Projectile.
tasers or stun guns.
Yeah.
There's also.
I think the correction. I think the pepper spray is 18 and older. The tasers is 19.
Okay.
Well, I mean, but the effectiveness. Now, let's talk about the effectiveness of a taser.
Okay, there's two types though, so just keep that in mind.
Let's talk about both types.
So the one you have the taser that's like the handheld.
Right.
You got to get
Yeah,
right in close
like
to
you
get
got to
'em.
touch them with it.
And then you have the gun version where you shoot the two
Right.
prongs out and it gets you.
Right. So say so this is a scenario like there's somebody who's 30 feet away from you, and you have a taser. If you have a handheld taser, you literally have to walk up to the person who's threatening you with maybe with a club or something.
Right.
You know.
So the first thing I would say is if you were in that situation, the first thing you would do is you would crack it. Like,
Right.
Because that could be a deterrent. by
Yeah,
just
that's
seeing
probably
it.
it's probably a
And
bigger
just say, hey, you
deterrent
better
than
get the
touching
fuck
them,
back or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
And I've already called the police. Make up some story.
Right.
Crack it, and then if you have to use it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I wouldn't want to get in close.
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't
personal.
want to get that close either. I mean, there's
All bad
definitely
tactically.
likelihood that you're going to be injured if they're holding a club and you're holding a handheld taser. It's very difficult to get close enough in that scenario for it to be effective. Now with the taser guns, they shoot a projectile. What was
And they also generally have a laser sight on them
Right.
or a flashlight,
Right.
so you can illuminate and mark. And even if it's in the daylight, the laser can show where you're going to roughly hit on the guy, right?
Right.
So yeah, you would have now that distance
Right.
to shoot that and have a little safety.
So the police will engage you within 30 feet if you're threatening. Like that's their official engagement is within 30 feet because you can close the distance.
21 feet.
Yeah. With
Was it 21?
With an edged weapon.
Yeah, with an edge weapon. So you can close that distance in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a second to pull out your taser and react to it. So if you're going to use a taser, if you're going to go with that option, it's better to carry a taser gun than it would be to carry.
Well, and generally speaking, too, is after you deploy those the barbs, then when they come in close, you can still use that as the other kind of
so
contact.
it's the initial stun and then a follow up, and you still have maybe 10 feet of distance between you and the assailant.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of tasers and stun
Yeah.
guns and all that. Just not a big fan.
As a non-lethal
I'd rather use the pepper
option,
spray.
I would rather go with another device.
Pepper spray, in my
rather than-
opinion,
Yeah.
it's just more reliable. And there's a lot of times where you hit certain people and
Right.
it doesn't do anything,
Yeah.
or you don't get a full, good, clean shot.
Yeah, because I mean, when you shoot a taser two barbs come out, one, I mean, you have to spread them a distance. So if one hits me in the shoulder and one hits me in the rib cage,
or hits you in the jacket,
yeah, that's what you want. Like that's where you want it, because when you send the charge through, those two things connect and will shut down your whole body. So that's what you want. Like when you engage, if you're too close, I mean, I've seen guys. I was in county jail with a guy who got shot by a taser in his ass cheek and was still running away. I mean, I've also seen guys run away from taser. So, I mean, the effectiveness, they have to be pretty powerful to knock somebody down.
Well, they have to latch appropriately is the thing. It's hard to get the clothing even a thick sweatshirt is armor against a taser. Little bit.
Right. It's got to make contact with
pepper
your skin.
spray.
Yeah. It's got to make contact with your skin.
Going back to the pepper spray, I don't know why I didn't just mention that, but like the one that I had up here on the table, the Fox Mean Green, that leaves a color, and some of them will be bright orange or something, or reddish color.
Right.
So it's also nice because then you can mark them so you know who got hit if they're in a crowd or whatever.
Right.
So it'll dye them.
That's awesome.
It won't kill them, but it'll die them.
It's incriminating.
Stupid. That was awesome.
Yeah. I'm awesome
All right.
like that.
So what else do we got here? We got
armor.
baton. Let's do the batons first.
batons.
Yeah, let's go through the weapons. We'll get the armor at the end. So then this is interesting, Jamie. Batons / sticks.
All right.
Is the definition.
I know there's a lot we can't have here even.
You cannot carry. You can own a baton and you can own a stick. A stick. Let's keep that clear. But you can't carry it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even feel like there's much to talk about on that. So
well, I mean, think about it. Like you have like what are they? Two sticks. What are they called?
The Eskrima sticks.
Escrimas, right? You have those, and then you have a single baton with the handle on it. Then you have the collapsible, expandable batons.
The tonfa is the one like the L shape.
Right, and then you have the bow staff.
Bow staff, yeah.
And then what else? Like
those are the main ones.
Like nunchucks, right?
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah, we did cover that. I mean, but it would kind of fall into that category, like you're carrying two sticks. You know, literally, like in a self.
Well, the difference is that you can't own the nunchucks.
That's right.
So
That's right. These are less lethal options. Yeah. So but you can't carry. You can own them, but you can't carry them in public.
Right. Now, if you were on the street and you had to defend yourself, you took a broom handle or you picked up
2x4,
something, or a pipe or something, you had to defend yourself. That would be, as long as you can justify that you needed to do that and it was just there, then you're fine.
Right.
However, heaven forbid you carry a collapsible or a Eskrima. That'd be weird. But
like for self-protection.
Or a bow staff. You're walking down the street.
Protection.
Yeah. Just always carry a broom with you and then just unscrew the head real quick.
Right. I mean...
Isn't that crazy? It's a stick.
You gotta bring it old school style. Just carry a chimney sweep broom. Shim shim shrew, motherfucker!
Right, yeah.
I feel like a Mary Poppins theme should come in right now.
So, anyways, I think that was crazy. Like, you cannot carry the most primitive
besides a rock, right?
Next to a rock, the most primitive weapon there is a stick, and you can't carry it because the government says so. Wow. Like, it could be that big.
Literally, I could go
and they would say no.
Grab a branch off a tree.
Yes. In a situation.
Yeah.
And you're fine.
So somebody carrying a walking stick is technically committing a crime.
Yeah, technically. If they're using it for self-defense, I guess
if they use it for self-defense.
They could kind of argue, did you really need the walk? Like, if you were hiking, there's a justification for it.
It comes down to intent.
But if you were walking down the street with the walking, they would get you.
You could make a case. I could see that. The law.
That's so
fucking
weird.
crazy.
Don't
another one that we looked up
laws.
too was also like sound cannons and sound devices.
Yeah.
Now the only thing that we could find available to the public, because the big like LRAD, right? Isn't that what that is, Jamie? I think that sounds right. The big cannon.
I don't remember what.
So
it's
the
called.
big ones you'd see SWAT or like on cruise ships for pirates or whatever.
Yeah, the ones that actually like disrupt
familiar.
your fucking
make
guts
you
or
shat
something.
yourself.
Yeah.
The brown note.
Those ones we couldn't find anything anywhere. I mean, I'm sure if we looked really hard, we might be able to figure it out.
But we did see a
$35-ish little device.
Right. And that was, I mean, you set it off and it makes a really loud
high pitch
noise,
and they all kept
like
saying,
a fire alarm going off.
Yeah, so you can look for like sound self-defense, whatever
Right.
mechanism. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But however, this thing just puts off this uncomfortable sound. So what I was envisioning is you have a room and it's in between your room and you want to keep people away from you if you had an intruder. You had that thing rigged up and you had that uncomfortable sound and you had that pepper spray motherfucker.
Yeah.
No one's coming through that shit.
Yeah, that's
bro.
a good defense, man. That
And it was
be a
weird
really
because
good
when they were
defense.
doing the reviews, this is the way you'll know if it's the same device. But it's a real little one. I think it took like AA batteries or something.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah.
that
Had a
up.
little teeny speaker on it, and they said that every single person that they tested out at a bar and a patio, and like at a public bar, and everyone said they felt it in their jaw.
Yeah,
and
it
they
was,
felt
like, so
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Like they were able
Yeah.
to talk and everything, but they were just like, "This is not comfortable."
It,
Like, I
it
am
was
not happy.
weird.
That's cool.
It wasn't overpowering. It was just like a noise that penetrated through low frequency. It's this high pitched low frequency sound
The very bottom
that
link.
just cuts through everything.
Yeah.
And they even showed a guy who was across the bar who was like,
He wasn't even part of it.
he wasn't part of the experiment.
I felt it in my jaw.
He's all like, it was so uncomfortable. Like we couldn't figure out where it was coming
He was
from.
probably a
I
good
have a
like
gizmo.
25 feet away.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even want to say what it does.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying
That's
to-
all right. Just
Yeah.
what's the name of that? Sonic.
Sonic nausea.
There it is. So, well, that was what the video is called. I don't know if
Right.
the product was different. I don't remember.
So I mean, and they even like set other ones off that we saw, and it like dispersed the crowd. I know the police vehicles.
Those are like the LRAD things. I
yeah,
think
the
they're
police
called.
vehicles have those
Mhm.
loud,
armored
high
vehicles.
pitched frequency sounds, and they totally dispersed the crowd.
Yeah, LRAD right there. See on your far right, 4 down,
Yeah.
5 down.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this small device.
Oh,
I
that
mean-
was the microwave.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's one of the ones that they have. So
Oh, that was a hot. Yeah, it would make
That
it-
one. That one makes it. They said that one is like when they turn it on, it's like you just opened an oven.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
your molecules start to boil.
right. No, this was a
sound
sound cannon sound
Right.
device. I mean, it was small. It maybe no bigger
That's
than
this
a
video
cell
right
phone.
here that we have up.
Yeah,
That's the video. Yeah, so it just looks like a little teeny speaker and a little box that holds the batteries.
right,
And an on-off button or something.
right. And there was really no regulation on that.
No. No.
None more. As a
Nothing
matter
as
fact,
of now.
Yeah.
Not yet. Coming
Yeah.
soon
Coming
to California.
soon to a statist near you.
Yeah, they'll make some kind of decibel rule where, you can't use this device.
Well, when we looked up
public
too for
areas.
sound devices like sound weapons and stuff, we found I didn't really know about them, but they have like propane tanks hooked on these little like pipes, and they shoot off
the air
blasts
cannon,
to like
yeah.
scare off animals and shit.
Yeah,
The air
they
cannon.
use those on like ski top hillsides to create avalanches before the people get there.
Mhm.
Also, they use them around here to scare off birds from fields and stuff.
Propane cannons are sick,
Airports.
dude.
Yeah.
You watch them do. They use them at like if people have land that they set up duck lakes on and shit like that. They'll have them like permanently affixed, and then you can't use them too often because then the ducks will get used to them. But then I've seen them hunting videos. Boom! They set off the cannon. All the ducks take off the lake.
Oh,
and just fucking take 'em off.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they had those things for sale,
Fucking
but I mean,
tactics.
I don't really feel like you can really use them too well. So
We were gonna try to get a hold of one when I worked at the paintball place because we were gonna use it for scenario games because it
that makes sense.
dude. And when I got to play on a game, an airsoft game actually, where the field that we were on had a couple of those, and I've never been in a more immersive like battle scenario. Like there's a lot of times where I've been in indoor arenas and they'll play music, or sometimes they'll play like battle noises through something like that. But dude, like it was when I got to play against the Oakland Raiders. This is that time, so they had a pretty big budget for this event. We were included as part of that budget, so I was like part of their entertainment package. One of the people they got to shoot, right, as part of the team building exercise. But half of us got on the Raiders team, half of us got on our own team, and we had to fight against each other. It was pretty cool, but you get guys running across the street and shit, and they'd have blanks in their AKs, and they're shooting them at us. And
Oh,
it's
shit.
Like, and you hear
Dude,
real
that's
gunfire. You hear those cannons going off, like you got artillery peppering the hills behind you and stuff. It was smoke grenades everywhere. Like it was
Really
just,
cool.
yeah. It was like the most high budget thing I'd ever been to. These like
Cool. They have strobe lights hooked up.
no, it was daytime,
Oh,
so like it
cool.
wasn't at night, so it was all daytime. So smoke was really cool. Like
Pretty cool.
dude. There was this one time they were using this person's car as cover, and like I know that airsoft BBs dent cars, and like I was just dude, bro. Like I'm sure there were thousands of dents on this car. It was brand new.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was fucking ruined. Like, I knew it. Like, I'm watching these guys hide behind it. They're all shooting each other around it. Like, they're ducking, using it as cover. I'm like, that thing's fucked.
Oh,
that is so fucked. But
That's
what I
crazy.
was getting at is the propane cannons they had in the background were like,
They were cool.
it was so cool. Yeah, it added such a
Yeah, I never
level.
seen one of those before, like in action. So we got to see a review of that when we were researching for this topic. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
And then the final thing that we wanted to talk about was body armor and helmets, ballistics.
Right.
So the thing about the thing about armor that like stuck out to me more than anything, it's like this is actually not a weapon of any sort.
Right. It's just personal
It's just
protection.
protection. It's
Yeah.
something to armor yourself against threats.
Right.
So why is it regulated at all? Is the question.
Yeah, and well, I mean, we know why. We know what they're going to tell us. They're going to say,
Right.
oh, it's because people are going to use it bad. They use it in a bad way. They use it maliciously.
You know what I mean? To protect your life is what.
Right.
Well, but then you have people like the Sandy Hook and whatnot.
Well, I mean,
Or
Yeah.
no, I don't know if it was Sandy
The
Hook.
L.A. bank robberies
no,
where it
yeah,
started.
yeah.
There's
Let's say the LA
that's where
bank
it's-
robbers.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Guys, hang on. The orange hair kid, the movie theater one.
Mhm.
He wore body armor.
Is it Aurora? I think. No.
Yeah.
No, that's school.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, the movie theater. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that guy, he wore body armor. So that's just another one thing that they have. They're going to hold over us and be like, oh, see, that's why.
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
crazy.
can't have
Those
body
like 5 examples are like why we regulate it for innocent people to protect themselves.
Right. It's just like any other thing.
Dumb.
Like somebody misuses it, so our whole society has to pay for it.
Yep.
You know, and
because there's no such thing as fucking individuality, apparently.
body armor doesn't kill anybody. It doesn't. It doesn't
Doesn't do anything.
shoot anything.
There's no action
It
that it
doesn't
can even
cut
perform.
anything. It's plating that goes on your body to protect you from a knife or a bullet, maybe. You know, in theory, hopefully. But I don't understand why it's regulated at all. I mean, it's just personal protection. It's just so weird.
So in California, you cannot own ballistic helmets or body armor if you are a felon.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing, and I'm sure there might be other states like that too.
Right.
But in California,
Yeah, I remember Maryland again, where
Mhm.
they had the same kind of regulations that California does.
In North Carolina, I'm not going to pull up the article. 'cause
Oh, okay,
It's just
okay.
a picture of Daryl from Walking Dead. So it's like, okay.
wah, wah.
A North Carolina man killed another man with a crossbow recently in North Carolina. A press release from the district attorney, Ernie Lee, called the actions justified due to self-defense. So the 58-year-old and a 22-year-old got into an altercation. The 58-year-old is the one who ended up being killed by the 22-year-old. These two guys have kind of beefed a lot over. They live in a trailer park, I guess.
Surprise, surprise.
Weird.
Yeah.
And they've been having some
Love stereotypes.
they've been having some disagreements about there apparently is a communal like work shed that they have like groundskeeping equipment and other various tools and stuff like that. They had they had a beef about that. And then
Where do you keep your women?
throughout everything that I read in the article here, it basically says that there was sufficient enough evidence to suggest that it was in self-defense. I mean, yeah, the guy got put down, and with the laws in North Carolina, with the stand your ground law and whatnot, it was a justified
Fuck
tragic
the law.
shooting of
justified
some
killing.
sort,
Yeah.
Wow.
So I put that. I put that down in the humor thing because that's a run up get done up kind of thing, man.
Yeah,
Like don't
man.
fucking get like you can't. If you're gonna aggressively walk onto someone's property and refuse to leave, like you're gonna have a bad time. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't already have a fucking knee in the back of your neck before the cops get there, you will when they do.
I agree.
Fucking what's his name? Hawkeye and the Green Arrow have all those like self-defense rounds that they have in their arsenal.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Dude, fucking LTL stuff's pretty good. Batman is all LTL.
They had the little like taser arrows and all the weird shit.
Yeah, non-lethal
Mhm.
taser arrows.
Yeah. All right, what do we got, Jamie? This is your other humor.
Yeah, this is the last one I got before we go into the break here. This is from Reddit. This I think it's from about I'm going to say it's old. It's from I think it's like 2016 because that's the year that gets mentioned in the video here.
All right.
We've got a streamer. She's going to be the one dressed in yellow on the screen as her in-game avatar. And then down in the bottom right corner, you're going to see her actual face. And then we have another character that she's interacting with, and this gentleman here is giving her a fashion review.
Okay.
So here we go. We're gonna
Is he wearing heels as well?
His character is also a woman. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes. But
okay, just want to be clear.
Yeah.
The one with the gray sweater.
That's right. That's the funny one.
Don't
All
assume his gender.
Okay. So I'm going to leave the voice up kind of high on this one because you got to just hear the dialogue. Okay. So in yellow is her.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gentleman playing this avatar here
who we cannot see,
but we will be able to hear him.
Okay.
So here we go.
On the other side, I'm not even sure of the jeweler, but that is a delicious watch. You'll see that she offsets the two of them. She's saying, you know what? I'm not a robot. I'm not a communist. I can think for myself. I'm not a socialist. I'm not the reason we lost Vietnam. I can wear whatever I want on my wrist. I'm not going to follow your orders, Dad. I'm going to do what I want, Dad. And then you move up to her shirt. Her shirt is the latest
brings it back down.
model sock tank top, which is a delicious choice.
Is a delicious
That
choice.
is amazing.
A
dude.
delicious
I
choice.
like it. I think that is awesome. I'm not a communist.
I'm not a socialist.
I like it.
Not the reason we lost Vietnam. Just the progression.
Did she say? Did he say dad?
Yeah.
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 He's like, I don't have to listen to your orders, Dad.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Oh shit.
That was amazing.
That was
I like
awesome.
it. Why can't all video games be that cool?
That was a good
That was
one.
just amazing.
All right, guys, we're gonna go back. We're gonna leave for a break, but we'll be back. All right, we're back from the break. Quick shout out to our fans. They're not sponsors.
Freedom fighters.
Yeah, the Freedom Fighters.
Freedom.
Shout out to our Freedom Allies. How about that?
Sure.
Yes.
Associates.
Withoutrulers.co.
Oh yeah.
If you guys are out there and you find yourself asking, well, hey, how would I deal with this aspect in a free society? How would I deal with this in a free society? If you guys go to withoutrulers.co, you'll notice that his website is set up. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's all
Or you're
links.
just like, how do I get more freedom in my life?
It's going to teach you about like alternative parenting styles. It's going to teach you about the non-aggression principle. It's going to teach you about
Capitalism.
is it agorism or it's agorism, right? That
yeah.
one. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can learn on that website. And the good thing is that every single one of those links I clicked, guys, they're videos. You don't have to do any fucking reading. You just go on there
Yeah, big dumb.
and watch some videos.
Yeah.
Learn about some freedom.
Yeah, I like it. They're pretty great. BrokenArmory.com for all your 80% needs. Go check them out.
Absolutely.
Great product. And if you need a paperweight, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
You have a very awesome.
And
Freedom
check out
paperweight.
Libertarian Snake on the old IG. Check them out. Pretty cool little page.
Shout out to everyone that was on the live stream today. Thank you guys for showing up. We got a
Oh,
couple new people that were
yeah.
there today. That was really nice. Thanks to all the original, the OG Freedom Fighters always show up. Shout out to, we had Corey, Phoenix, Valerie, Steven.
Bianca.
Bianca was there. Yep.
Couple new guys.
Yeah, a couple new guys were there.
Jason.
Yeah, Jason. Thanks for showing up, man.
What's up, Jason? Thank you, man, for checking in with us.
Shout out to our regular. Shout out to Ashley and Chase. Shout out to Missy and Todd. You guys got any shout outs?
So there was Macbeth, and then who was the other guy?
His name was on there as Harbor Freight.
Harbor
so I don't
Freight.
know.
Oh,
but
that's right.
Macbeth is one of Johnny's boys, so he's
Right,
we
I
sort
know
of knew
Jason.
him.
Yeah.
The other gentleman, I'm
Harbor
not
Freight,
sure.
love your tools for affordable prices. They're pretty
Absolutely.
awesome.
What's up to all the freedom fighters? Steven. Who are the other guys?
Steven, John,
Yeah.
Ian, Andy,
Little skinny Andy.
Kenny, Aaron.
Little sexy Andy.
What up?
What's up, Andy? I haven't seen you in a while, buddy.
Mhm.
You gotta come
Andrew.
It's been a while.
by. Yeah.
Any other shout outs for you, Chris?
Nah.
All right, moving right along here.
Hey, real quick.
Mhm.
What have you been listening to lately? Like, I've been listening to...
Music wise? Are you talking
Yeah, music-wise. Like, I went back and I started listening to the Korn albums. From the very
really?
beginning.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
I had Korn's first album in my car like last week.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So
It's a great album.
The
I listened to
self-titled.
their first album, their self-titled Korn,
Mm-hmm.
Korn.
Yeah. I like the first two albums a
Yeah,
lot.
the first two albums were really great.
Third one, not so
after
much.
that, kind of
Just
The first
little
one
bit of
had
poppy.
Blind on it, right?
Yeah.
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 So
And
that's
Clown.
That was the one I had on
Clown's a good
Ball
one.
tongue,
Yeah, faggot.
faggot.
there.
That's
'cause
the name of the
That's
song.
That's the name of the song.
people.
We're not being derogatory.
Calm down.
So what was it? Was there self-titled? And it was after that was Life is Peachy,
Mother.
Yeah,
right?
with Adidas.
Life is Peachy, or is
The
it
All Day I Dream About Sex songs
Right.
on there.
Yeah,
And they had Twist. So that's
yeah, that was a good one too.
a little short
yeah.
thing.
Twist, yeah.
And on the first album, if you notice, they're like right before what is it, Ball Tongue or Clown? He's like, I wish we could put Twist on the fucking
Ye-
tape.
Yeah,
And
Twist.
and then the first song
Yeah.
on the second album is Twist. So it's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Little insider.
I think I know what you're talking about
Yeah.
too. Or, like he even says
real-
right up there, he's like, just fucking
it's like
do
yeah,
it.
yes,
It's- yeah.
It's before Clown. That's
Yeah.
what it is for sure. Just fucking do it, damn it.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Fuck you! Fuck
Yeah.
you! Everybody starts laughing.
I love that shit. All right.
How about you?
What have I been listening to?
Yeah.
Mostly old country and a mix of my band Calabrese and the Brains.
Oh,
Just
nice.
right now.
Yeah.
I haven't been listening to too much music, but when I have, that's pretty much what I've been listening to.
How about you?
Oh,
Jimmy?
and Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys.
Busted them out lately.
Ah, nice.
I've like lately because I drive for work. I'm always in a shared vehicle, so typically the dude's driving.
World
always, like-
music, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Lately, it's been music not of my choice, but it has been a genre that I like. It's been a lot of like bands like
Puddle of Mud.
A Puddle of Mud. No, it's
Oh,
my coworker likes a lot of like what I would consider like pop metal.
I was gonna say bro metal.
No, it's not. Well,
No,
it's
a little bit.
not okay. So like
So Nickelback.
like bands like Disturbed and like Five
Yeah,
Finger Death
that's
Punch.
exactly
Yeah.
what I call
Yeah.
bro metal.
Bro metal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, these guys he likes stuff like A Day to Remember
Okay.
and like Sleeping with Sirens. Like they are hardcore bands. Like they have like they're fucking metal, but like they are so pop genre.
Right.
Like, the high pitched like Coheed and Cambria vocals that are maining and like
Evanescence
no.
or some
No,
shit.
not like
Not like that at all. No,
No?
harder than Evanescence for sure. Evanescence is rock. I would say rock, but they're not
Wake
metal.
me up.
No,
Yeah.
it's a different genre.
Evan.
But I don't know.
God damn it, Chris. Now it's gonna be stuck in my fucking head.
I'm just trying to think of like songs that I could relate to because I've never heard of those bands.
There's a couple new genres that I've been listening to that I'd never heard of before, but I mean I heard of them this year. One I found was called retro synthwave, and it's like it sounds like anything you it just sounds like the 80s. It basically is just all synthesizers and this pop like beat.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. I really like that. It's a genre. And then there's another genre that I found that I like. It's called electro swing. It's got like this hip hop with like a big band feel to it.
Oh,
It's
that sounds
interesting.
fucking interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that sounds way interesting. I love big band.
I'll show it to you after the show. But it's pretty cool, I think. But that's what I've been getting into, and yeah, but I mean, my
That's
heart
cool.
still is
Something
always
different.
with like
Yeah.
metal is like my main genre that I
Yeah.
listen to. But
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I haven't really listened to Korn in a really long time.
Mhm.
And I was on a drive to Southern California, and my wife's she's a rock fan also, like metal and stuff like that. So we listened to the first two albums.
Good.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm trying to like, cause I commute for at least 2 hours a day. Like, you know, like I'm always on the road. So, I was trying to get into like trying to force myself to listen to the third album. I just haven't had a desire to.
which one is their
Yeah.
third album?
I can't think of what it's called. It's the one with all the kids running on the cover.
Follow Leader.
Follow
Yeah.
Leader, and then
My favorite
Life is
one.
Peachy, right?
Mm,
That's
No.
the one with the little doll thrown in the corner.
That's Issues.
Oh, that's Issues. That's
yeah.
right.
And then after that,
Actually, I liked Issues. I liked
I like
Issues.
Issues.
though.
Issues
Yeah.
is the last good one they made. And
Yeah.
after that, it was Untouchable, and I stopped liking them after that.
Yeah.
I still would listen to a single if it came out. Like they have a couple cool ones or whatever, but I'm like they're not. After Follow the Leader, that was where I kind of after Issues.
Yeah.
No, Issues was good, dude.
You know what? When they
Make
put
me,
out
Make Me Bad, fucking was that one song? Beating me down, beating me. That fucking like that song is badass. And then Make Me Bad, and then or Made Bad, I think is actually the name of it. There's a couple other good songs off that album too. They made singles out of that were pretty
Right.
good. I don't know. Korn is. I've always liked Korn.
Yeah, they're a good band.
I think the first song I ever heard by them was off of that album. That was when I finally started coming over into rock from country. And the first song I ever heard by them was, I think, Got the Life.
Yeah.
And it was on PlayStation 1 music video demo disc that like one of my buddies had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he put it on, and it was the one where they
I hate that song.
They see, I love that one.
Really?
Where they
Yeah.
wrecked the Lamborghini into the
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah,
Whatever.
after their second album, they lost that like dark emotional feeling to me in their voice, Jonathan Davis's voice. It just didn't have that like dark drive
Yeah.
in his. You
You
get
know
that?
what happened
was what I
for
didn't
me
like.
is like I feel you. I feel you
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that
yeah.
because I feel the same way.
Because I mean,
It's
even
like-
in Adidas, and that's more of a
They
pop
were-
song, but it still had that weird dark.
I feel like Jonathan Davis was holding back after the third album. Like he was
he
holding.
wouldn't let go.
Yeah, he wouldn't
Yeah,
let
yeah,
go.
I
Like
see what you're saying.
Like the first album was like that
Crazy.
pent up emotion.
Yeah.
And
The second one still had that. It wasn't
Yeah.
as good, but it would still had that in there.
Yeah.
And then after that, I didn't feel it anymore.
Yeah, he was just. It was just.
It doesn't like the first album, and even the second one has a slight violating edge to his
Yeah,
vocal,
totally, man. Totally.
Where after that, I didn't feel violated. I was like, yeah, he's just going through the motions.
Violate me, daddy.
Yeah, Davis.
So I met Jonathan Davis one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was at the what's it called? Warfield in San Francisco. And I think I told the story before. I was there to see Typo Negative, and his brother was in a band called Life of Agony. So Jonathan Davis's brother played guitar for this Life. No, he was the. Oh no, he played guitar for them. So Korn was in the balcony while we were there, and there was like the show is like dead at this point because it was like their opening. So some guy who was like hanging out with us was like, "Hey, you're a Korn fan, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "They're upstairs right now." I go, "What?" I go, "There's probably all kinds of security." And he's like, "No, just go up there and talk. You could talk to them." So I was going up, and I was going up. Him and Monkey were coming down. Monkey's their
Guitar player.
guitar player. So I was like, "Hey, you guys are from Korn, right?" And Jonathan Davis like, "Yeah." Like he was all like worried.
He wasn't sure what you were gonna
Yeah.
do.
I was like, "Dude, I'm such a big fan." And like after that, he smiled.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit. I think I asked him a couple questions about their first album and I don't remember exactly. I was just like really shocked.
Were you a
Like,
little starstruck?
yeah, honestly, like I don't get starstruck because I've
But
seen
that
other
time you were?
celebrities.
Yeah.
Jonathan Davis did that. Him and Monkey, dude. I was like, dude, these guys are fucking dope, dude.
I don't think I've ever met a celebrity.
Yeah,
Not that I knew it at the time.
right.
Like people have told me I've talked with people and they're like, "You know who that was?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Oh my god."
And you still didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
after, even when they
yeah,
told you
they
it
were
was,
like,
you're
"Dude, that guy's the
okay.
starting linebacker
Right.
for the you know what?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
and you're like,
never seen him.
Like,
Seemed like
this
a
is the
guy.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
He only plays for the Lions, bro.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about the Lions?
I'm like, if he's a professional football player, if he's a professional football
The
player,
Browns, the Lions, whatever. Same
Yeah,
thing.
why didn't he buy the good shit? Why did he get all the cheap shit?
Oh, that's funny.
Uh,
yeah,
so-
why do you, yeah, good fucking point though, JB. Why do you
So
buy the cheap shit, bro?
the other single
Why
off
didn't you
of,
tip well?
the other single that I was talking about
Yeah.
off of Issues was Falling Away From Me. That was the one I was thinking of.
Don't know it.
Yeah.
Now, that song, if you're talking about like the emotional energy and whatnot, if you watch the video for that, it is about an abused child and the community of children like all come together in like solidarity, and that kid gets taken out of that house. It's a little creepy. It's weird.
Yeah.
I still think that all the way through even the Issues album, he still had that like negative emotional and that's actually why I liked them,
Yeah.
because I saw
That's
a lot
why
of
I
that.
liked him too.
And then going from that style, trying to listen to their old stuff. When I was that age, I was like, I don't like the sound. It was
Yeah, it was
it
too
wasn't
dark.
clean. It's had that garage bandy sound. I don't like it. But listen to it now, I'm like, this fucking rocks, dude. This is like raw.
Oh yeah.
Before anyone
Oh,
was
yeah.
doing this shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
That whole
awesome.
new metal kind of sound.
That's
right?
exactly what
Yeah.
they call
Yeah.
them on Wikipedia.
Oh, there you go.
NU metal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
metal.
exactly.
I think.
Pretty cool. But
like-
we're all Korn fans to a degree here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
especially the earlier. So
I was stoked when I met him. I mean,
That's
I've
pretty
always
cool,
liked
dude.
I've always liked Korn. I also saw Korn with Ozzy at Ozfest, which was fucking super dope. As a matter of fact, I think that's what I said to him that I am a super fan, and and let me touch you.
Just a little bit. Don't tell anybody.
And I went to your concert at Ozfest. I don't know. I was all incoherent, just all stupid starstruck.
Cool.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool. You got
Yeah.
to meet him though.
Yeah, it was pretty.
He
dope.
actually was one of the people I wanted to meet back then,
Yeah.
but because I usually don't care.
I also met the guys from 311, and those guys are pricks, dude.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
They probably were
Dude,
like, "You're a tool."
I was so like, okay, I went to a Cypress Hill concert, and 311 was the opening act. So
They were like, you listen to 311? Ugh. Like, their own band.
So we got backstage and we saw 311. We're like, hey, yeah, fuck, you guys are cool. Are you guys gonna be put out another album soon? And like I don't know what the fuck the singer's problem was, but he was like, oh, hey, are we gonna put out an album soon? Like, just totally like mocking us, like, dude, like, why be an arrogant prick like that?
They're from Nebraska. by the
Yeah,
way.
fuck Nebraska.
You want to talk about corn?
Yeah, 311 was a disappointment.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so afraid to meet some of my fucking
Yeah, it
heroes.
is a bad
Yeah.
thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay, I would love to fucking meet like Bill Burr. That's a big one. I would love to just, hey, big fan, man. Cool, keep doing what
I
you're
would
doing.
totally call him a statist if I met him.
Oh, I don't even want
I
to.
would.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
would. Hey, bro, you're awesome. I love your commentary on society. Everything's cool, but you're a statist.
You're a status fuck.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I
Couldn't
just like
say that. To
Yeah,
Doug
it would
Stanhope,
suck
though.
to meet him though, and then
Yeah,
like have
no,
a
you
bad
couldn't.
experience, dude. That would totally.
it would
fucking-
because it would ruin.
Nah,
like,
he'd probably be cool, dude. He'd be cool.
I just don't know because like you see him in his interviews, and it's almost like some of the people that are interviewing him, and we're talking like Jay Leno and fucking all the big guys, right? And you can just sometimes tell that sometimes it's like they caught him on a bad day. Like he's not happy to be there.
Yeah, and
You
you
know?
got to imagine he's got like a calendar of things to do, and he's got to keep doing that. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
got to get old after.
Yeah, he
for
probably
me-
doesn't want to be there in the first place.
For me, it's hard to differentiate like when he's just being cynical Bill versus when he's actually
for
being
being
a dick.
real.
Yeah.
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 And I don't know, like, and in person, I've never met him, so I will not be able to do that
He did
in
just
real
play,
time.
Didn't he just perform here in Gilroy?
Not in Gilroy, no way.
He was at the wineries or something.
No,
Was he?
Yeah, I saw a private event.
that can't
It
be
was
true.
It is.
No,
I
my
don't know if it
God.
already happened or just is going to. It was like hella expensive too.
I would have
like-
paid.
It was hella money.
I would have paid.
Yeah.
Whatever.
True story, guys. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna
Look
see.
it up.
I'm gonna see who I know at these wineries. see what.
Man, that would be great.
I'm gonna
see
put
Bill
Johnson's
Burr,
in there. Don't worry.
Johnson.
Johnson's.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Johnson.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get up on the first free talk here.
Ooh, here we go, Chris.
Bum.
All right, this is actually I'm really excited about
Oh
this.
shit! Chris is super excited about this.
Oh,
too.
I'm so totally not super excited.
You're not excited about Tractor Land?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna be like,
yeah. No, I thought
so this is
I thought
in the
this was gonna be
UK,
some
correct,
kind of dick
Jamie?
video or
I
something.
believe.
This is.
I read this a week
in
ago, so I'm trying to remember. I think it's in the UK somewhere.
New Jersey.
Oh, okay. What? Are you sure? In the United
Also
Kingdom.
has locations
Oh, okay.
in
That's
the United Kingdom.
All
yeah.
right, that's why I remembered it. So, anyways, yeah, you could go. This is some capitalism as fuck shit right here, right? So you guys got
Yeah.
a theme park that has tractors all over for kids. Well, everyone of all ages, but a lot of kids are gonna dig this. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. So I think it's cool. How much would you have loved this when you were a kid, Jamie?
I'd have been fucking here all the time, dude. My little brother, especially, he like had this thing for tractors and just machinery.
Right.
Like, you know those videos when you're a kid and it's like, oh, like planes, trains, and automobiles, not
Yeah.
the movie, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Well, he used to get them on
Tractors.
tractors and like machinery. He had one on cranes,
Nice.
like those big like building
Yeah.
things. And like, dude, I was like watching him watch this stuff, and
He's
I'm like,
just
I'm like, this is so dumb. And then if you watch that screen for 30 seconds, you're fucked for the next like 4 hours. You're sitting down and watching that shit.
Right.
And
You
I
just
did
get drawn
every
in.
time.
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And he'd be like the next day he'd be watching the same one. I'd be like, this kid is so
And then you
what
start-
do they got?
Oh,
there?
that was cool. I don't
hold
remember
up.
that.
Hold up. Hey, can we rewind that real quick?
That's
Like,
fucking cool, dude. Yeah, they're always cool, dude. Tractors and
Oh hell yeah,
all that
man! I remember having like Tonka toys
Oh,
when I was
yeah.
a kid.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, those are the best.
did any of you guys have the one that had the handle on it that you could like sit on?
No,
No.
no.
I don't think I ever had that one.
I know
either.
exactly what you're talking about.
But then they always had those ones too. If you were lucky, you had a park near you that had that one that was stationary.
Right.
Yeah,
It had the dual thing.
Yeah.
It's like a
spin
backhoe.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And all you could do is just make a pile from here over here in 360 degrees.
left and right, and that's all, and up and
But
down.
shit, you would be in line for that fucker for an hour.
Oh yeah, that was a big entertainment. Right?
This park is way cool because all the machines are stationary, and they give you like little jobs to do. So
Yeah,
you could
like
you
a
could,
task.
Yeah, you could dig up the ground and move dirt.
Find Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, like dig up Hoffa.
Yeah, well, you can see on the screen there, it's like
Yeah.
some kind of game. They have to knock down certain things or whatever.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
these little whatever these
Yeah.
are.
Probably to learn control. It's
That's
like
cool.
a cool. And then here's a ride.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can push
There's
play on
actually
that one.
video.
I will. I just want to quickly
Oh,
go
yeah,
ahead and
yeah.
show. We got an annual membership of $50, folks.
What a deal!
Single ticket for 30 to 40. Not too bad.
No,
$50 though.
but only a couple bucks more, and you can go there.
all year. Let's see.
All
what,
year.
okay, I don't know how.
This
how-
is a short one.
I don't know what the volume's gonna be like on this.
Yeah,
so.
we watched this other shit. Yeah, cut that volume.
Oh, very loud.
You can just cut the volume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how we
There you go. And I mean, that's just a ride, it's a spinning around.
Yeah.
But then you get to see this high speed course. That's as fast as they go. But yeah, I mean, dude, if you're a kid, you'd just be loving that. I don't know what's up with that.
Oh yeah, dude. Anything with
Look
big
at that
tires.
right
Oh,
there.
dude,
stuff
it looks
that.
like you get to be part of a little assembly line.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you're gonna move dirt over here, then
Yeah,
I'm gonna take
look
that
at-
dirt and put
and
it
all
over
the
here.
Yeah, and all like the carnival style rides are just based off tractors.
Yeah, they look like tractors.
Pretty cool.
and-
That's pretty much the end of it, Jamie, on that.
Okay,
that's
okay.
But
pretty
yeah, I mean,
awesome.
they get the point of it.
Yeah,
now.
we can just keep scrolling here.
Yeah.
There might be a
And
couple
this
more.
was cool. This blew our mind. I was
Whoa.
like, "What the fuck is
so
this?"
yeah, this is like a ropes course. So you so say you're like building a 20-story building or whatever, and you're walking across the beams, the steel girders. You're tied off, and you can, cruise on all kinds of different levels. They have stairs there.
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah,
bridges
that's
and stuff.
really
Yeah,
cool.
It's pretty cool.
How did they? This
Fucking
just
cool.
This just seems like one of those things that I don't know how they ever got clearance to build something like this. This seems like a fucking OSHA nightmare.
I just see this and I think capitalism is fucking awesome.
I know.
Fuck yeah,
I
dude.
think that. I'm wondering like how.
Right? How did they get it?
How do
by?
they get it by?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like-
I
Well,
get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's not in the United States. So
No, it is.
so
There was
fuck
one in
OSHA.
Jersey.
Yeah, it's in New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Well,
I didn't
one's
see
in
that.
Jersey and then the other one's in UK somewhere.
I want to see
Oh.
what this is.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Did not see this one. What the hell?
Oh, dude, that's
It's like
way
a jet.
Like a fast zip
It's
line?
backwards
You're
too.
going backwards.
And then you're gonna come back? Is that what's going on?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about
I
that.
bet it's
No, the
gonna
line
return.
breaks at the end, and you fall to your death.
Oh, there's that structure below. See it?
Oh yeah.
Bottom right. That's pretty cool.
Is this thing coming back?
It's got to. They don't just leave him there.
Oh yeah, look at this.
There it is. Dude, that structure's sick, dude.
Yeah, it is. Whoa, dude, that's cool. Zip lining.
And I bet that's pretty fast when you're on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It looks pretty quick.
That
pretty
was
cool.
Awesome.
Is there any others? I think that was it, but let's see. Oh, got a couple more.
What's the picture?
Dump truck ride.
Nice. It just dumps everybody out the
Yeah,
back.
there's no
Kids out.
seatbelt.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's awesome.
And that's what we saw already.
Yeah, it's a tractor
That
ride.
swinging thingy.
Swinging.
This is cool.
Yeah. We would have been loving this thing, dude. There's a
Yeah,
little
we
kitty
would have
stuff.
totally been about this here.
Yeah.
Want to watch this one?
Sure.
One more?
Yeah.
Why not? And
Oh,
this is
dude,
basically
that's so freaking
so
cool,
this is
man.
basically your little toy ride in the sand, but the real version of it.
Yeah, dude.
You get to scoop dirt.
That's
the best.
all right. Well, whatever.
That guy
We
sucked.
get the idea of
Yeah,
that
he,
one.
he
Obviously,
didn't quite figure it
That
out.
guy
Yeah, that's all right.
sucked,
Yeah.
dude.
Kid, you
All right.
suck.
Transfers back.
All
to the big
right.
screen
Yeah,
here.
that was cool, right, Jamie? I mean, we would
Absolutely.
have. I mean, I think we still would all go there now. So
I would totally be
Yeah.
down for that.
Yeah, that was bad.
I like it. I like it.
Can Vegas do that? Can you put one of those in Las Vegas, please?
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Can you sell
Mafia,
alcohol
are
there
you
too?
listening?
Sell alcohol there too, please.
Sure.
Vegas Mafia.
Yeah, I like it.
Make it happen.
All right, what do we got? Oh, we got this kung fu kick that Chris is really excited
Oh,
about.
yeah.
It's like a freedom kick, actually.
Let me get it up here. Let me refresh this. Now let's see what we got.
So this is a Hong Kong protester helping out
Oh,
another Samaritan.
Oh, you gotta play it back, bro.
Dude, they
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
that was
they
a badass
fucked up
flying
that cop.
sidekick, bro.
look at that.
No, oh, there it is.
Here comes and bam!
Right to the upper
Freedom
chest,
in
like
your
the
face.
shoulder almost.
Taking out
Dude,
a Hong Kong
flying
police.
sidekick, dude.
Yeah. I bet that guy's fucking worried now. He's sitting on the ground
Right.
there.
That was rough.
Wow.
That was cool.
He came flying out of nowhere.
Yep.
Knocked him up.
Little Bruce Lee kick right
Yeah.
there, bro.
Don't see. That's why
I
you
like
don't
it.
fuck with the Chinese,
I
man.
like it, man.
See, this is what happens when somebody kicks me like that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What we got?
Check this out. I throw my my assault briefcase at him.
Uh-oh.
This is what happens. Now, the assault briefcase is a very technical piece of machinery. Now,
Holy shit!
if you don't get it enough time, if you don't give it enough time to acquire its target properly,
Oh, my God.
Gee, I didn't know it was
It's
heat-seeking,
bro.
you get behavior like this.
Heat-seeking briefcase.
God, this is amazing.
Oh my god.
God
That's like
damn
oh
it, Jamie.
Turn
shit!
into the blue shell.
It turned into a blue shell.
Boom.
That
Kaboom!
was amazing. Oh, my God.
Damn, that was dope.
Oh.
Video game glitches are the
Yeah.
best.
Wow.
If you don't already subscribe to it on Reddit, there's a subreddit called Game Physics, and it's all shit like that.
Oh really,
Dude,
Yeah.
like when your GTA character like just turns into an anamorphous blob and then flies through the ceiling or the sky or whatever,
Right.
like it's all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, like you crash your car and get ejected and it flings you into
Yep.
the air.
Or through the ground,
through
like
the ground.
yeah, all that kind of shit.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
All right,
video
so-
games are fun.
You guys, I got this one here.
What you got?
The heat-seeking fucking briefcase. I'm telling you, that was awesome.
We talked about possibly there being some sort of free Fritos on the show here, so
Yeah, this is the reference to the free Fritos.
yeah, check this out real quick,
All
guys.
Shit. This guy came out of nowhere and said, I'll give you a bag of Fritos if you let me give you a prostate exam. It happened right over there. People are fucking weird.
People are fucking weird.
Yeah, man, but you got the free. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I was giving out free
Fritos.
prostate exams, I would be giving them the chili flavored Fritos. Though.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hey, you're
I
already in
don't
and out.
know.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
man.
Yeah.
What they do now is not your problem.
Yeah.
True.
Another 6 months to a year before you see them again. So.
People are weird.
People are
I
weird.
love that. Happened right over there.
That was
I love that. There's so many of those different ones.
That's a good
All
one.
right. What else do we got, Jamie?
For right now, nothing.
Okay.
We're just ready to go into
So
the...
we are on to cosplay. Freedom lifestyle, subculture,
yeah.
hobby, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? And I love Halloween.
Who doesn't love
it, man.
Halloween?
And the whole sci-fi culture, which where the cosplay all came from, all started with like the books and the different plays back in the day. Eventually evolved into movies, and then
Right.
on and on from there.
Right. So there was a group of people who were super fans, and they created the first sci-fi conventions where they would all meet up, small groups, and it all would take place at one person's house. And the group started off small and got bigger and bigger until we
Have what we have today, we're
until we have
cosplay.
today. But where did it come from?
Yeah, so a guy, his name is Forrest Ackerman, and he came up with the whole term, actually, sci-fi, first off, taking science and fiction
Right.
and made that whole term up. And he was one of the first guys that went to the fan events, is what they were at the time, the fan
Right.
conventions. And there's a little sound effect there for you. And anyways, he what do you call it? He was the first one to dress up with his girlfriend or friend at the time.
Right.
And they made the first outfits based off of like science fiction books. And they made it out of like evening gown, and then they went into the event. And well, he did actually. Women weren't allowed until I guess it was in the 40s to
Right.
even go into the conventions. But he helped create all that, and it was pretty cool to like learn about it. We're going to be talking about it right after this video as well.
Right. So Forrest J. Ackerman and his girlfriend were some of the first people to create
The first.
Yeah, the first to
For
go
convention.
into fan conventions dressed up, and through that it's grown in leaps and bounds.
Got so
in,
sick.
In 1984 was the first official sci-fi convention.
No.
No, that was the
Not even close. So in 1939 was the first major fan con that
Right.
they had, and they had a couple years before that, but they were more like a handful of people, in like I like homes and like I'm
Right,
sure
right.
restaurants and things.
So
but
seven,
the actual
the first seven, right?
convention,
Yeah.
the first convention where the guy went and dressed up, that was in 39.
That was in 39. So
Like that.
So this also started to catch on in Japan. So we started to see the same kind of parallels between the United States and Japan. In 1984, there was a reporter who coined the term.
A Japanese reporter.
A Japanese reporter who coined the term cosplay. And that came out of the words costuming and role-playing.
Right, exactly. And that's what they called it originally. Before it was cosplay, they were usually just calling it costuming.
Costuming or mumming was another word that they used.
Yeah.
So
what up, Haley J?
Fans everywhere.
Yeah, I have
mean,
fans everywhere.
We're just fans of all the cool costuming.
Yeah.
But we love the costuming because it's such a kind of like a freedom thing. Like you're able to express yourself. You can be anything you want. And that's what we started to see after the explosion of the cosplay in 1984. It started moving to Comic-Con until 2003 where they had their first official costume contest.
For cosplay.
It was just cosplay. So that's where it started. And in 2006 was the official world cosplay convention. And that's when the cosplay really started to take off. And you started to see like the really big names come out. Yeah.
Right, the models.
People started to get
They started
paid.
getting known for it. Yeah,
Right,
exactly. There's your Pikachu, looks creepy as fuck
So
up there.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's from Ninja Scroll. So I just wanted to point that one out. A lot of people won't know.
So the popularity is growing by
That
leaps and
guy's
bounds.
just awkward.
Like some claim it came out of the Japanese cosplay MAGA,
Yeah, a lot of people think that, like
Yeah.
from anime.
but it actually it really did start in the United States and just grew from here. I mean, Forrest J. Ackerman, he was a fan. He was a super fan, and he's really what kind of led everybody into the first cosplaying. I mean, he was involved in all kinds of sci-fi and creating movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But here we have. So now we're at the So now we're at the height of costuming. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome to
Yep.
see what people have done, what people can do, and what they've created out of it. Like, for example, that guy.
Yeah. Well, Jamie, did you have anything you want to say about it that you can think of, or?
Not specifically.
just throwing
you guys covered pretty much all the stuff that
I just
think
wanted to
of.
see if you had any thoughts, or sometimes you have some random story. So.
Well, the one random story I would have for this one is that I did make a cosplay one time.
Okay.
I made the cosplay. Do you guys remember the movie Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
So I did what I could to make one of those walkers that they walk in.
Yeah. Okay.
So I built it around Valerie, actually.
Oh, okay.
And so we got a lot of what I ended up using mostly was like those puzzle pieces you get. You put them on the floor for like a gym.
do. Yep.
Use those because they were cost effective and they're easy to work with. And I made all the panels and all these things. The hardest thing was because the movie was so new was trying to find like close up action shots of the suit, right? But we got it done, and I think they ended up using it for what they needed to use it for. And I mean, ended up not being a very big suit. It was just a couple of pieces or whatever. But I don't know. It looked pretty cool.
I like it, man. That's cool.
It was my first time ever getting to work with something like that, so it was neat.
You know what's funny? That's like the parallel between Forrest J. Ackerman and the woman who helped create the costumes. Like they didn't have the materials, and everything that they read. I mean, everything that they were seeing, they were imagining from books.
Yeah.
Because at the time there was no.
They used the evening gown to cut up.
Yeah, they used what they had to create these really cool futuristic costumes, and the costumes they were calling them at the time were futurista.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there was no
Awesome.
no like official term at the beginning.
Yeah.
But those are the origins.
Yeah, and like we were saying at the beginning, where most of the people were getting it from was like the sci-fi stuff, obviously, and Halloween. Obviously, they had masquerade balls, and then like you were saying at the very beginning, cultural different things with different religions and race and wherever countries and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think one of the things that's really cool about it too is it's kind of like they really are embracing, like they actually like what's the word, like immerse themselves in the character.
Right.
So it's not just a matter of like dressing up. They're actually,
but it's becoming the character.
Right.
Yeah, like acting.
You want
to
exit off of this, Jamie, for me real quick?
Yep.
And then we got the other video.
Yeah. So the man who really like set this whole thing off, Forrest J. Ackerman. I mean, he was a freaking brilliant guy. I mean,
you want to pull that video up?
He from
yeah, it's right here.
From the origins of costuming to all the way back into horror. And here's a little video. This is Forrest J. Ackerman. He's talking about his role in horror
and so real quick, he was the first guy that helped or made the first costumes.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure you're clear on that. He was the first costumes. He's the one that coined the term sci-fi.
Right.
And he helped get all the original fan conventions together.
Right.
So I just want to be clear about it.
Yeah, he's the father of costuming or cosplay.
Who am I? Well, I'm a practically 77-year-old guy who wasted the first 9 years of his life, but in October 1926, a science fiction magazine jumped off the newsstand, grabbed hold of me, and magazines talked in those days, and this one spoke and said, "Take me home, little boy, you will love me."
Awesome.
So time marched on, and you know, in the beginning, in the 20s and 30s, it was almost like being an individual in a desert dying of thirst, and every little drop of water that constituted the science fiction or fantasy magazine was precious to us.
Kind of like us with Freedom.
Didn't have pocketbooks in those days, and hardcovers and TV and VCRs and so on. So when I saw science fiction beginning to appear in comics, the original Superman and Batman and so on, why that was more for my collection. It's eventuated now up in Horrorwood, California, in an 18-room home with 300,000 things in it.
That would be awesome.
That real quick. All right, so go ahead.
That would be awesome to walk through his house.
Yeah, he'll talk about it at the very end too. So what I thought was interesting is he was talking about how he's starving for more sci-fi, superheroes, comics, which we all take for granted now.
So imagine being 9 years old,
and there's nothing really.
And there's no like social media. There's no television. Right. You have radio.
Right.
And then your other alternative to entertainment is either comic books or actual books.
Or two cans with a string.
Yeah, two cans with a string.
Nice.
Yeah. So when you have a creative mind and you find something like a sci-fi, like it just opens up new worlds for you, and that's what it seemed like it did for him. I mean, it just he created a whole life out of sci-fi.
And it was cool how he was
his love for sci-fi.
It was cool how he was attracted to that because most people aren't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at that time, at least, it was like very frowned upon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there's other things that he could have been into at the time. You know, there was all kinds of different magazines geared towards all kinds of different hobbies. He just happened to the magazine that he picked just happened to really grab him, and he was able to turn it into a whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Does he tell us what it was?
Yeah, you're gonna get more into it.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
All right, let's see what we got here.
It's a very informative little video. So
switch the screen back over. Okay.
And on the way to my 77th birthday back in 1969, I created a comic of my own called Vampirella.
Very cool.
I did 190 issues as editor of Famous Monsters of Filmland, and there's been 11 years the world has been without it. But when I was bringing Halloween to the kids of the country every month, these kids grew up and turned out to be Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and John Landis and Tobe Hooper and John Carpenter. And they find it kind of amusing to put me in their movies. So at the end of this month of August, I'm going to do my 44th appearance in a film.
All right, pause it one more time. We only have one more time. Sorry for that, Jamie.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, so that was freaking crazy. So he created Vampirella, which a lot of cosplayers emulate. They dress up like.
Right.
She's the one that's the vampire chick with the red or bathing suit kind of thing, which is real revealing. Then the famous monsters of Filmland. That is like iconic as hell, dude.
Right. Like famous monsters would be like Frankenstein.
Right.
Werewolf.
Yeah. Well, like Universal Monsters in all of them. But
Right.
the name of his thing was the famous monsters.
You're right.
And what he was saying there was how it's like so influential for like Steven Spielberg, John Carpenter, and etc.
Right.
Like the whole sci-fi and horror community.
Yeah, he influenced that
He
whole.
helped, yeah. So he's like the godfather of a lot of this.
Yeah. As far as American filmmaking, I mean, he influenced, like he said, John Landis and Steven Spielberg,
John Carpenter.
Yeah,
I mean,
fuck yeah.
these
One
are
of my favorites.
these are iconic. Like you think about
and we
John
know
Carpenter, right?
Yeah.
Like he did the
all of them.
yeah,
that
he
are
did all the
awesome.
great movies.
The Thing,
But yeah, The Thing. That's what I was
The
gonna
Fog.
get. Yeah, that was a great movie, and that was
Escape from
Stephen
New
King,
York.
right?
That
No.
genre that
No,
I
that's
told
still
you,
John Carpenter.
that music genre I told you I found, that
Yeah.
the electro synth wave.
Right.
It reminds me of like
John
John
Carpenter's music?
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I love his movies, man.
Who did the? I thought it was Carpenter who did the. Oh God, what's the name of that movie? Never mind. Never mind.
All right.
Anyway,
So let's.
but I mean, he's influenced these big names. I mean,
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's absolutely impressive.
And then this is going to finish it off, and then get to the point you were talking about, his mansion.
Oh, okay.
This will be the end of it. You won't have to stop it after that one.
Okay.
That's what the cover looks like.
The first issue of this in 1958, we found there were 125,000 people waiting to grab it off the newsstands, and after all the copies were gone, we went back to print with another 75,000. Which we're going to
That's a lot,
specialize, as we always did, in keeping alive the lure and lore of Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces, and Karloff and Lugosi, but we'll also be featuring new films like the Frankenstein and Pumpkinhead, the kind of the old tried and true of the classics of the 30s and 40s. Anything else I can tell you? The world is welcome to visit me.
Here you go.
18-room home in Horrorwood, California. I'm the only Forrest Ackerman in the phone book. Just dial 213-MOON-FAN if you're ever around town.
He gave out his phone
Is
number.
that fucking real?
Zero
Yeah.
fucks, dude.
Yeah. This guy. See, the thing was, he was a super fan, so he understands the fan ideology.
Yeah, like the culture of
Yeah, so
That was
I mean,
fucking awesome.
Okay,
He
yeah.
wants- he
and
wants
he
to
said
bring-
you can run around barefoot in my 18-room
yeah.
house, and he's gonna give
So
you a
imagine
tour.
his room is filled with all kinds
Now
of
you guys can
memorabilia.
look up on YouTube, look
Yeah.
him up, and then actually look, and they'll show like his place, so you can actually see it.
So cosplay piggybacked off of sci-fi,
Costuming and
yeah.
the whole science
Yeah.
fiction more, yeah.
right, and then moved into
Everything.
to Comic-Con, and everybody was dressing up. But it wasn't until 2005, 2006 where they actually had a world kind of summit where they had actual contests solely for cosplayers, not connected to Comic-Con, not connected to anything else. And that was in Nagiri, Japan, in 2005, 2006. And there was something like 37 nations represented there.
Jesus.
Thousands and thousands of people. It was supposed to be pretty epic.
I like it. So, what are the things that we can take away from this lifestyle, culture, hobby, on the property and the freedom end of it?
You know, for me, it's an expression of self. Yeah, you are dressed up as a fictional character, but it's an expression of how you feel about certain aspects of your life, and to role play it and act it out. Everybody should have a hobby, and and live a free lifestyle, and do what makes them happy. And what really gets my attention about these cosplayers is they really enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
tell.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Yeah.
I've known several people that do cosplay. Actually, the dude that doesn't talk to me anymore, and then another one of my friends, they actually went to a BlizzCon, dressed as their World of Warcraft characters when the WoW first came out. And my buddy Mitch's mom, she's an amazing seamstress, and she did their costumes were fucking amazing, and people were not making costumes of WoW characters like those two were. I don't know how they didn't win anything, because they were the only two that were as good as they were, and like they looked exactly like their in-game characters. Like the armor they were wearing was like identical. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And this is like the first two guys I ever knew to do that.
I do like what Chris was saying though, like how they really embrace that character, like how it's like, and like you were saying too, it's expression, Jamie, and all that. Like I think that's really cool, and I feel like it's an important thing that a lot of people get into because they want escapism from like the real world.
Right. You know, and it's not exclusive to sci-fi. It's not exclusive to Comic-Con. It's not exclusive to anime, video games, or whatever. It's whatever you choose to do to express yourself.
And some do also movie characters and different things too.
Like as a matter of fact, like
Star Trek.
I've seen people who are LARPers. I mean, they're live action role
Dungeons and Dragons you brought up before.
Yeah, they're Dungeons and Dragons. Or like right now we have the Renaissance Fair going on. People dress up for that.
Lots of our friends do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I would love to do it one time and eventually in my life. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Did you see Val's cape?
No, I didn't.
The Dracula cape looking thing?
Dude,
that thing's awesome.
She bought this fucking cloak, and it's black.
With the red inside.
Velvet on the outside.
Oh, nice.
And it's lined with red on the inside.
Oh, wow.
It's so sick.
It's like Charles Dickens kind of thing.
Kind of.
It's like vampire.
Yeah.
It's like Dracula kind of.
Like you put the hood
it's
on.
Gothic.
And the hood's like really big.
Yeah.
You know, like it can cover her face and rest on the shoulders.
It's pretty awesome.
It's fucking tight. It's got this cool little clasp and everything.
Right.
And like the thing is though, that it's like two pieces of fabric, right? It's the lining and it's the outside. Now it's panels, right? So it makes the right shape and everything.
Uh-huh.
I think it was like $300.
Wow.
These guys like if you go to some of these things and like you find someone dressed at the Ren Fair and they look like legit, you could dude like $4,000 worth of gear on some of these guys.
I believe it.
So a few years ago, I was gonna go to the Charles Dickens Festival in Oakland, right? So they closed down the Oakland Coliseum, or is it the Cow Palace? One of them. They close it down and they build sets. Like, so you're on a set of like A Christmas Story.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can go and then like you can
Pip.
You can like be part of this Christmas themed Charles Dickens Christmas deal, right? Like, so we looked into costumes for this, and costumes that were already made that were just rentals were something like $400, and that's just like a couple day rental for that. But that's one thing I would really like to do eventually is do the Charles Dickens Festival. I think that would be awesome.
Dude, these festivals are so fucking like free market, dude.
They are. Yeah.
You just take all your stuff, go to a festival, set up a booth, and then just sell it whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I have another buddy of mine who's real big into the Ren Fair. He's attended it damn near every year since I've known him for the past 22 years, and he works there, that type of thing. He found out about this other festival. I think it's called Badlands, or it might be called Outlands. I think it's called Badlands, and it's a Burning Man-esque type of thing, but it's all post-apocalyptic.
Oh, nice.
Now, there are things for buy and trade and sell there, but there is no currency used. You have to barter. So they're real big on things like unique bottle caps. Like, you can come in there with, like, bottle caps that are not from this part of the world, and you could probably make out like a fucking bandit.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, it's like everything there it's made out of, like, fucking car parts and license plates and tires, and it's all like that. and it's all barter. It's all fucking trade. There's no money. You have to make your own currency, make your own little fucking, gadgets, doohickeys.
Yeah, kind
you
of
can
sounds
trade.
like what's that the English term, laissez-faire or something like that.
Laissez-faire.
Yeah.
Laissez-faire. Yeah, it's like real laissez-faire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, barter.
Barter and
Yeah.
trade.
What I think is cool too is that usually it's the same people that like all those same events too.
Mhm.
So it's like they
Yeah.
always have something to kind of go and participate in.
Yeah, it's
Usually
it's a
they're
lifestyle.
involved, yeah.
I mean, you really get into it. I mean, it requires you to make costumes, to spend money, to immerse yourself in the culture. It's like it really takes on a lifestyle of its own. And what's really cool is I got to go back to is the self-expression and being able to just be free in the character that you're trying to represent,
Portray or whatever. Right,
yeah.
yeah. And if you really felt like someone might really like Spider-Man or whatever it is, they kind of become that character.
Right.
They like immerse themselves in that. They're like into all the movies, the comics,
Right.
all that stuff. So it's kind of cool.
I mean,
that
who
they
wouldn't
can
want
just-
to play Wolverine?
Yeah.
Just like dress up and
Dude,
I
like,
think
even
it's so cool.
even for Halloween, like I think what I want to do this year for Halloween is I want to dress up as Rick from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But I love him as a character.
Right.
So of course I'm
Right.
gonna like memorize a bunch of jokes and all
Right.
stupid
Right.
shit because I want to be because he's hilarious. To
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, and see that like for the average Joe, like that's kind of their like their small entry level to it. The Halloween.
Sure.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, costuming is just prevalent in all cultures, and it crosses all lines, and it gives those those celebrations like Chinese New Year's such a different perspective, I guess, because they're acting out like fights between dragons and people and stuff like that, and the costumes are just beautiful, and they really get into the spirit of the celebration.
statist
Yeah, whatever, man.
tribalism.
Tribalism.
No, it's cool though. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Everyone likes it. Give it thumbs up. I think I enjoy it. I follow a couple different people that do it on the Instagram,
Same.
Yeah.
and I'm into comics and sci-fi and horror. So it's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
I like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Velma and Daphnes of the world,
Scooby Doo. Nice.
Yeah. Alrighty. So anything else you guys got about cosplay or costuming or anything? Or?
No sir.
I think we covered it. man.
Alrighty. Jamie, you have any more
I got a
little
couple
tidbits
just little random
for
ones
us
at the
before
end
we
here.
end?
Yeah. The first. All right. The first one I just want to show because it's a cat video.
Yeah.
You know how that
Yeah.
all plays out.
Yeah. You got to show that. Come on.
Do it. Okay, so this is a cat realizing that it has ears. Let's see here. Can we go full screen?
What's happening?
There it goes.
There it is. All right.
Let's see what happens here. Oh, I see
What are
him.
those?
I see 'em.
Here.
What are those?
Oh. Hey.
Wait.
Hi.
Ah,
Oh,
that is
dude.
freaking cool.
That's so cool, man.
Like what?
Oh, what are these?
What?
Those my
Oh.
ear. What is this?
What do I do with these? Where'd those come
That's
from?
pretty fucking cool.
Wow, that's cool, man.
It's a cool looking cat.
I just thought it was funny.
Ah!
I wanted to make sure I had that one up. So there.
That's a good one.
Cool. That's all I have for you guys tonight.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and call
Send
it.
this off, Chris.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram.
Twitter, Pornhub, and
Yeah.
obviously YouTube.
Yeah. Also, check out our merchandise. It's located
Somewhere
below
down
us,
right here.
Right
Yep,
there.
You'll see it.
Johnny will put up a graphic across the.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
I will read it for you though. It's shop.spreadshirt.com/grim86.
There we go.
Awesome!